Welcome. Make yourself comfortable, won't you? I want to tell you a story.
Greetings, invaders. My name is Scott. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. If you like some sci-fi, horror, fantasy, goodies, videos, whatnot, make sure you click on the subscribe button. Give me a like. Thanks a lot. Be Anyone with Anyone. So Anyone is the second novel by Charles Soule. The first novel came out a couple years ago called The Oracle Year, which was kind of a good speculative fiction type of thing, and so is Anyone. You can grab the review for that up on my channel. I put a link for that up above. So what if an invention came along that allows you to transfer your consciousness into someone else's body? Anyone else. Anyone that's willing, anyone that's available. What would you do with that? What would you do with that power? So this novel cracks open that jar and asks the question, what happens to, racism, gender bias, disabilities, anything like that, those can all be gone. So essentially, you can strap on this helmet type thing, you can go into this flash and transfer your consciousness into someone else's body for a temporary period of time to do whatever, a whole day, I think. You can do it as much as you need to. And these vessels, there are willing participants who have signed up and they get paid by this incorporation to be a vessel, and then you kind of browse through a catalog, say, okay, who do I want to transfer and be today? This person over in Zimbabwe, or this person in Antarctica or Australia, and you like the snap of a finger, boom, you wake up and now you're that person. You're in that environment, you've become that person, you talk like that person, your muscle mannerisms behave like yourself. You just have to get accustomed to the new body. So your tells and things like that still carry with you. But all of your outward appearance has now changed. Your thoughts still remain yours, but now you can just be someone else. So in this book, it talks about what that could do. It covers the invention of that technology, and then 25 years later, when that invention becomes kind of commonplace, incorporated into this global company and provided to the masses. And it talks about how it's eliminated carbon emissions because nobody's driving cars anymore. They can just click and boom, they're somewhere else. Things like the military, people can volunteer to be vessels for the military. To just be like, okay, I'm a body, you can inhabit me, take me off to war, like I'm willing to do that and take those risks. So all of that, travel, flights, all of that stuff is gone and is essentially no longer applicable when you can just smack yourself into someone else's body anywhere you want. There's contracts people can sign, celebrities do it to be able to go out in public and stuff like that. You can be like big CEOs of companies have places that they need to go, so when the CEOs and all these global players meet, they never really know who is who because they're using these vessels. And so you can't judge you can't judge a book by its cover anymore. You never know who's inside of that cover. So that before you judge someone based on their color, appearance, whatever, that stuff has gone away because you don't know who that is. You have to kind of really get to know them and speak to them and figure out if this really is someone that you know, if a friend of yours, or if it's someone that you really don't like, and then so on and so forth. So the biases, the judgments all kind of phase out in this world that he has built in the future, because you never really can trust the outward appearance of a person because you never know who's inside of it. Somebody could be taking that first spin and it's someone else. So I think that was a really great piece of the book. And now the book does cover two different timelines. It covers Gabrielle White, who's a black female PhD cognitive neurological scientist, developing this technology. She's trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's, and a mishap of calculation kind of in the first few sentences of the book transfers her into her husband's body. and dealing with that, how she feels when she's in there, what's happening. She's holding her child with these, the man hands and things like that. And she then panics and using her husband's body goes back to her own body, who's kind of laying on the floor unconscious, and tries to figure out a way to reverse it. So take that, and then 25 years down the road, it's kind of now the Amazon of consciousness traversal. And so we have two timelines, the one that's the invention of the technology and the future applicable technology, where there are rules, like if you transfer into someone else's body, you can't then transfer again into another layer. If the main body dies, if the vessel dies, then the person who is in that vessel also dies. So if one dies, they both die. This whole book, this whole story, I think really is a great book to open up those kind of discussions about, just the culture in general. And if you could be someone else, whether it be for any reason, like how will that take your judgments away from someone else? How does that increase your empathy for other people, where, the looks that you might get, the side glances you might get if you're inhabiting someone else's body that you wouldn't get normally on your own, and vice versa. All of that stuff is kind of wiped away, and the slate's wiped clean now in this future world. And I really love that about this book. It opens up a lot for discussions. And throughout this thing, there's an action-packed kind of thrill ride, where in the future, there's kind of the black market of this flash, where you can go off record, and you can submit yourself as a vessel to anonymous travelers. So you don't know who it is, you don't know what they're going to do with you, with your body, but you'll get paid a boatload of money if you do it. And so in the future storyline, Anami becomes her first chapter, her first experience with this is her volunteering to do a dark share, where she's blacked out, she's blind, she's volunteering her body up to who knows. Nobody knows. It's all anonymous because it's all illegitimate, essentially. And then she wakes up and she's covered in someone else's blood. Like, that kind of kicks off that storyline. And there's a big, huge twist at play here. There's the badass female characters who've kind of developed this technology are kind of out for revenge for those who have done wrong against her. And I thought it was really amazing. What I really thought, and I really had to take a break from on the book, was the end of part 3, where the whole thing kind of comes to light, and I had to kind of pause the book and just take a deep breath and be like, wow, this was great. I mean, this book is really thrilling. I really loved it. I also enjoyed the Oracle Year. It's kind of an action-packed ride. It doesn't delve deep into the characters' emotions. It's more about the societal shifts of things and how that can be used either for good or for evil when the playing field is level, except for the people who run the actual company who've developed this technology, and how those bad mob bosses are running the whole city. They know what's going on, and they also know the secrets of the technology that they haven't released to the public. So there are other elements in the deep-seated back end of the story where you're like, okay, something shifty's going on. There's a massive power play here between the people who've taken the technology and ran with it to make it a $1 billion thing, and then the people who have done wrong about who have invented the technology. So I thought it was really fantastic. I loved it. It's referenced a lot to like a Black Mirror episode, and if you like that kind of speculativeness where in 25 years maybe it might be possible, who knows, but it's not too far-fetched where you think it's outlandish and this is crazy sci-fi. It's more speculating about how society will work when people can be other people. And I thought that was really great. That's what Charles Soule does great in this book as well as the Oracle Year. It touches into that little rift of story where this could be something that could happen, and maybe it is. Let's explore this a little bit more and deeper and tell a story about it. And I really love that. So anyone by Charles Soule, I would really recommend if you like Black Mirror, Blake Crouch books. It was compared to Recursion. I haven't read Recursion, shame on me, but I have read Dark Matter. So if you like that kind of story, those kind of play on technology, definitely check out anyone by Charles Soule. I would recommend it highly. It was really great. I enjoyed it a lot. the topics that he covers in here are really kind of important to explore. So I would recommend you check it out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. See you next time. Bye-bye.